Oh my God, you guys, it is so hot. It is like 80 degrees and I'm wearing a sweater right next to the window. Why? Because it's part of the video and I'm committed. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Amara Franklin. I am a caffeine addicted single mom with a crazy dog who's in the background, who writes words and reads books, and I make videos here on YouTube. When I was getting ready to film this video, I was gonna go into my bedroom with my pretty little lights and stuff, and I just decided instead to throw a pillow on the floor and just do like a chill sit down video. Because we're just gonna have like a little chat about what I've been working on. I'm really excited. My goal for this like new business series, or whatever I'm gonna end up calling it, is to take you along my journey of trying to grow a business. So I'm starting with the announcement, and I'm so excited to tell you that right before I started getting ready to film this video, I just posted a tiny little thing on Threads. I think it had like literally 15 views, but one really kind, sweet lady saw it and we were chatting and she actually bought something. So I am announcing my video with a sale. So not only am I like doing my little announcement, but I also made my very first sale. So I'm so happy. Okay, because I don't have all day to sit here and ramble on, I'm gonna be dividing this video up into 4 separate little announcements. But the first one is the main thing that I'm here to announce, and that is my shop. It is called Things I Made While Caffeinated.com. Why? Because as I've said before, I'm a caffeine addicted single mom, and I do everything after massive amounts of caffeine, usually at 11 o'clock at night. So I just felt like it was fitting. In fact, I came up with the idea after drinking a lot of coffee at 11 o'clock at night. I just love the name. I think it's really funny, and I think it's kind of like, if you know me, and if you're going to it because you're familiar with me as a person and here on YouTube, you know that caffeine and drinking coffee is literally like my identity. So I just thought that was really cool. So on this website right now, I have 3 separate collections that I have made. One that is not writing and bookish related, and we'll get into that last, and 2 that are for like writers and for my bookworms. So the one that is for writers, so it's under like the collection that I call like Writer's Life, and under that collection it has one design and it says sleeping is just a plot hole in my writing time. I have, on this one, I have mugs and t-shirts and sweaters. There is a little desk mat and a little journal, like a little journal that you can write your writing ideas in. So I love that one so much. Everything on this one is just light colors with black and gray writing, but in the future, I might switch it around and maybe do darker colors with lighter writing or anything else. But we're starting out slow. So that is this design. I love it so much. The second collection that I have is bookish things, and the first design that I made, this one, I don't know, like when you see it, it's just so me. It says, I totally worked out today. And by worked out, I mean I was reading. It is absolutely the same thing. With this one, it is just mugs and t-shirts and sweaters, and there's actually 2 different tote bags that you can use to carry your books in. And the last one, this is my non-writer and bookish related collection. This is honestly like what started this whole thing and where I got the idea from. I was actually talking to my therapist one day and talking about how hard, like I've been really struggling since November, after the election, and then now with this new administration. There's so much going on and it seems like it's never ending. And the only real stop that we have seems to be in the courts. And I fully love and support the ACLU. I think they're a great organization, and they are constantly working to fight any illegal actions that the current administration is taking, and I would love to support them more. However, I'm just a single mom with very little resources. I provide a great life for my kids, but that doesn't leave me with much, if anything, to support this organization with, and I just wish that I could do more. And that's where I got the idea of, well, I may not have money to give, but what if I sold something and then donated part of the money that I earned to the ACLU? And that's where fuck the oligarchy came in. I thought of fuck the oligarchy because Taylor Swift has that song, All Too Well, and she says there's a line where you throw the fuck the patriarchy keychain on the ground, and when you walk into my house, there is, I got it off Etsy, this lady wrote fuck the patriarchy, said a wise woman. And you see that as soon as you walk into my house. It's literally like on my wall right where I work, so you see that every day when you come in. And I kept singing that song and then swapping out the words for fuck the patriarchy to fuck the oligarchy, because it applies. They're very similar. But for me, the oligarchy is, well, this picture right here. It was just a little thing that I kept saying, and then I was like, well, I can put that on a mug, and if anybody buys it, I'll keep half the money and I'll donate half to the ACLU. And that's where it started. So I have two different designs for this. One says it loud and proud. And the other one is if you're wanting to be a little bit, you know, you don't want to have a giant fuck on your sweater, you can get a star instead. So that's what I'm doing. I actually sold a t-shirt today and I'm so excited for it. A couple of questions you may have is why, if this is so important to me, why am I only donating 50%? Now keep in mind, this is not 50% of the cost. So let's say, for example, it is a 15-ounce mug with peekaboo colors. There's multiple colors you can get. I got the black one because everything I own is pretty much black. I love it. So yeah, this one is $16. That doesn't mean that I get $16 for this mug. I'm going through a company called Fourth Wall. They have been around a very long time. They're actually connected with the YouTube shelf thing. So a lot of times if you're looking at a bigger creator and you see those, like their product shelf down underneath the video, that most likely they got it from Fourth Wall. So they provide the website, they do all the customer service, they will print all they print out all the things. And then I just get the difference between all of the production costs and payment processing fees and the sale. So for this mug, I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, but it's something like, I think I get $4 and I'm gonna say $4.12. I could be wrong. It's something around that amount. So if you buy this specific mug, I would get $4.12. I would split that in half. So $2.06 would go to the ACLU and $2.06 would just stay in my account for me. And the reason I can't donate all of it is because I still have to pay taxes on the entire $4.12. And also I work really hard on this. Like I spent months, I've been working on these for a really long time. And so I think, you know, obviously I deserve something for the work that I'm putting into making the site and making the collection and tracking the orders and making sure like they handle everything, but I want to make sure that you get your stuff. So I'm really excited. This is the only one that I am at this time donating half of the profit. The rest just goes to helping me to provide a wonderful life for my sweet, beautiful little minions who are so crazy, and they are growing so much. Like literally, I feel like every time I give them clothes, 2 days later, they don't fit. It's crazy. So that's the first big part of the announcement. That is what is ready to go right now. There are 3 other pieces to this like new business diaries thing that you will be seeing sprinkled throughout the next month. I think is really when I want to have everything ready to go. The second part of this is another website. It's just my name. It's amarafranklin.com. It's basically a blog, but it's just a place for me to park everything that I do because I have so much that I do. I have a YouTube channel. I have my shop. I have a podcast. I do all these things, and I just feel like, especially with social media, we are always at the whim of an algorithm, and you may not always see my videos. You might not see my thread or, announcements that I've made, podcast episodes. Like I do all these things and I put it out there, but we are always at the whim of an algorithm and whether or not it likes us or not. And so I just feel like having something that is mine, my place that I can put all of these things is an important thing. And so I will be also doing like blog posts, because a lot of times there's other like ideas that I have for videos or topics that I want to talk about. And I don't always have the time to sit down and pull out the camera and talk to you and then edit the video. The last video I put up took me 8.5 hours to edit. That's a lot. And so being able to sit on the couch at 10 o'clock at night with the messiest bun and no makeup on, but type my little thoughts on the computer, I just miss that. And I wish the blogging had not completely, I feel like, I don't know, people say blogs haven't died, but yeah, I also think it would be great too, because let's say, for example, I talk about something in a video. For example, my May reset video, I mentioned those biscuits that I had made, and I love my biscuits, but if you want to make them, I can just be like, cool, I made, you can go to my website, the link is on there, there's a recipe, so you can go there and get the recipe and print it out for how to make my super easy biscuits that are literally just pancake mix and cheese. So I don't think you need the blog post for that, but maybe I made something else. So, oh my God, you guys. So there's nothing super exciting or amazing. The site is ready to go. I just have to make like a blog post and put it up there, because the only ones up there right now are weird little test ones. Now, the other thing connected to the website, see, everything connects together, is that I've also been trying to figure out, what am I gonna do now that school is ending? I still have 7 months, I think. Yeah, 7 months left in school, and then I have my degree. And then I'm like, well, what am I gonna do with it? Like, I just went and got this creative writing degree, and I have no idea what my plan really is afterwards. And I've always really had this idea of being like an editor. Obviously for a big company it's not going to happen, but like freelance editing I think is great. And I absolutely think that that is an avenue that I would love to take in the future. And I want to get started now with manuscript critiques. So I've made them super affordable for like an entire book. I think if it's like 60,000 words, it's $180 or something. Like, it's really affordable right now, because I'm dipping my toe and I'm giving you, you know, feedback. I'm gonna read your book in a timely manner. I'm over my reading slump. But I'm gonna read your book and I'm gonna write down all my thoughts, and then I'm going to craft a, 2 to 5 page, depending on the length of your novel, edit letter. That is something that we will talk a little bit more about in future videos, I think, but I think that that is a great way to dip my toe into the editing pool and really gain some experience, but also make it really affordable for all of my beautiful writer friends out there, because editing services are a lot, and I do have a lot of knowledge and skills that I have learned, not only as a writer, but through the whole process of getting this degree. So I think that I can be very valuable. So the last part, because I have 2 minutes and then I have to go get the kiddos. This video is crazy, you guys. Is really just about my podcast, the Random Randomness podcast. I love my podcast so much. I started it with my dear friend, we call her Ben Beverly. Love her so much. She's off saving lives, literally, because she is a nurse, and we don't have the time to record together anymore. And this is not, I've tried doing solo episodes, and even trying to come up with a concept. That podcast does not work without a co-host or without guests. And I'm not in a place right now where I can manage guests on a regular basis for what that podcast needs, and I want it to have the attention that it deserves. So that one is temporarily paused. But as I was thinking and mapping out what this is all gonna look like, I realized that there were so many other things that I wanted to talk about that didn't quite fit into the silly, goofy format of the Random Randomness podcast. And I feel like I have a lot of things that I can share that is solo. The one thing that carries over from Random Randomness to this new podcast, other than obviously me, is positivity and kindness. That is the main thing that I really want to do. I feel like I have a lot of value to people, and I feel like I have a lot of topics, but they do not fit in the framework of the Random Randomness podcast. And so I need to do something different. And I'm going to be starting my own solo podcast. It's gonna start, I think, Ideally, I want my first episode to go live at the beginning of June. I'm saying the first, but I have to see what day of the week that is to see if that even matches. But it is called Things I Said While Caffeinated. See how it all kind of connects together, right? So things I made while caffeinated and things I said while caffeinated. So I'm really excited for this one. I'm going to be taking you along the journey of starting and setting up this podcast so you can kind of see what that's like. I've done one already, so I understand the background, but if you have never started a podcast and you've always been interested in it, I will show you how I do it and take you along that part of the journey with me. I really wish I had done like vlog style diaries of the rest of it, but I didn't think about that until a couple days ago when I was like, I really should be vlogging this. So with that, it's time for me to go get my kids. I've been rattling on for so long. I hope you enjoy everything. I hope you get yourself a mug or a sweater, but maybe don't wear the sweater when it's 80 degrees outside. Leave me a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Send any constructive and positive feedback you have. Even if you have suggestions, just keep them kind. And you know what to do, my friends. Go write some words and read a book, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye.
Lights are shining bright. My friends are in the club. We'll go all night. I see you in the back. The mood is right. If I just had your number, I would let you know how I feel. You walk up to me, start